British UFO hearings planned with MP set to hear from alien whistleblowers. So, we've been having some UFO whistleblowers in the US. We've been having these congressional hearings, and now it's going to the British, to the UK. No way. Just no way. There's just no way these whistleblowers are actually telling the truth. Are they? No. Look, when I look at here, you can already see I already read the title. The US style hearings allow RAF, Army, and Navy whistleblowers to tell all about experiences they have been previously banned from revealing under military non disclosure rules and for fear of ridicule. Military personnel will be free to share their experiences with UFOs. So, this is just a document. Britain is set to hold public hearings at which military personnel can disclose their current encounters with UFOs. The US style hearings will allow RAF, Army, and Navy whistleblowers to tell all about experiences they have been previously banned from revealing under military non disclosure rules for fear of ridicule. The UK's new UFO disclosure group has secured a meeting with a minister from the House of Lords. That's how they call it over there. To set up a forum where alien whistleblowers can come forward with their evidence. Interesting. The group was set up by documentary filmmaker Mark Christopher Lee to push for transparency on reporting sightings on UFOs, aka unidentified aerial phenomenon, or UAPs. Why are they calling it UAP? I'm pretty sure they're not unidentified, and I'm pretty sure they're not aerial phenomena. Like, cause they definitely know what they're doing, and there's been a massive push for UFO transparency, like over the years, or even recently, like, and it's been crazy. It's like there's been a battle for that for so long. As Daily Star revealed previously, a letter from the body calling for full disclosure in the UK was sent to Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer. Now an associate for the Brit leader has arranged for a minister from the House of Lords to meet with Mark to put the first steps in place to create a select committee to hear evidence from UFO experiencers. Whistleblowers kept quiet over fear of ridicule. Stock photo. So this is I don't know what species this is. Cause I'm pretty sure there's many different hybrids of the grays. I guess would they have like with the UFO lore and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty interesting. I'm not saying it's real or fake. I'm just saying like, there's just a lot of stuff to look at. Similar hearings before the U.S. Congress have led to the release of previously classified documents revealing reported close encounters between military personnel and mystery craft. Mark said it's essential whistleblowers can come forward without fear of ridicule. Speaking at a screening of his latest documentary, The Rendlesham UFO, the British Roswell, at the Raindance Film Festival, he said one of Sir Keir Starmer's friends and associates is arranging a meeting with someone from the House of Lords, one of the ministers. That's a start. I'm looking forward to setting up a formal meeting with someone from Sir Keir Starmer's government. A select committee is the place to start. It can get all the evidence together, get people to go there, and get evidence under oath, which is what we want. Do you see what they just said? They just said they can get all the evidence together, get people to go there, evidence under oath in the UK. That's what we want. I've gotten RAF pilots coming up to me saying that they've had incidents in the sky. They won't talk about them for fear of ridicule. Because, look, you got to realize, like, if these pilots, and there's been thousands of testimonies of pilots, right? They see something in the sky. Of course they're gonna be ridiculed. Of course they're gonna, like, people are gonna call them like crazy. They're gonna call them like, yo, this guy is tripping. Like, did he actually see something in the sky? Even Trump was saying this in the Joe Rogan podcast. He was talking about like these military people who fly these aircrafts, that they were seeing stuff in the sky. Like, I don't think this is really conspiracy theory, because I can see it all over the place. I can see people saying like there's a lot of these pilots seeing stuff in the sky. So Keir Starmer is said to be being briefed on UFO encounters. The other day, I had met a police officer. Same thing. He had a UFO sighting. Doesn't want to talk about it. He wants to go on record, but won't, for fear of ridicule. We want to ask the government to provide a safe platform for whistleblowers to come forward so we can catch up with the US. Oh. See, because the thing is like imagine if I was like a pilot. You can't just make a video, talk about your experiences, because they're afraid of being ridiculed. You have to have a safe place or a community where other people also understand you, like a congressional hearing, right? In the UK or in the US, which we've already had in the US. So the US is where it's all happening. We've got Congress talking about it. We've got credible witnesses giving evidence under oath. We want the same in the UK. Mark has been informed Sir Keir is being briefed on UFO activity around the globe, and King Charles III is pushing for UFO disclosure due to its own interest, that his late mom and dad, Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip, in extraterrestrial activity. What the hell does that mean? I don't know what that means. But the filmmaker said, I think the chances are high. I know from sources that Sir Keir is being briefed by other UFO authorities from America, and the king wants to get involved as well. That's what I've heard from one of his channels. We know he is in contact with various people about this. He's the king of all faiths. How would it affect Christianity, Judaism, and Islam in the UK if we were to find out that we are not alone? Would that create an existential paradox? Whose God it is? Whose God is it? Mark's previous documentary, The King of UFOs, included evidence the royals took the UFO phenomenon seriously, with Philip collecting military reports and inviting experts for private briefings. Okay, so that is a lot to take in right here. And so I'm not presenting this that I'm like an authority for this information. Look, I just read you an article, okay, I don't know everything. I've dabbled and I've done a little bit of research and all that kind of stuff. Look, I'm not saying that anything is fake, anything is real. But what I am saying is that, look, this is for a fact, and you can't even deny this. There has been congressional hearings on the US, right? Talking about, like, for example, David Grush. He's gone up to like one of the first hearings, right? And he said, like, we have non-biological and like non-biologics, and they have like reverse engineered craft and all that kind of stuff. It was also mentioned in the Joe Rogan podcast. As Trump asked, he even asked, I'm pretty sure, Elon Musk. And even Elon Musk, he said that he has a all secret access pass. I mean, if he has this all secret access pass, he's definitely hiding something. Because there's no way that if he has a all secret access pass to like government stuff, he's definitely keeping something away from the public. He's either lying or the other thing, he's being deceived or something like that. But even Trump, even Joe Rogan, he has Trump and all that kind of stuff. But it's kind of interesting to see all this, because like I think the more time is passing, I feel like the more time we're gonna see a lot of like UFO stuff coming out, a lot of extraterrestrial information, a lot of different kind of truths being revealed, because there is an actual push. There's like a big push for a UFO transparency. And from the research that I've done, it looks like there's like a big issue with this topic. Like there's an issue where like people, they want to keep it under wraps. And even like the Wall Street Journal, right? They've been debunked for spreading disinformation as well. So there's also disinformation campaigns to keep all this under wraps. It's like a whole battle happening even within the Pentagon and stuff like that. Like it's kind of crazy, honestly, because I mean, reading this, they said when I go back up here, right? So we want to ask the government to provide a safe platform for whistleblowers to come forward so we can catch up with they want to catch up with the US, which the US has already had these congressional hearings, right? And there's some key names mentioned in this. So I don't even know who Sir Keir Starmers is. If you're from the UK, you probably know about this. You probably know about this guy, whoever this guy is. That's what I say. I don't know everything. So I don't know who this guy is. So this is really interesting to see that this is also, it's not also happening in the US, it's also happening in the UK as well. And I'm pretty sure it's slowly going to happen in every country in the world as time goes forward, as the years go by, as the months go by. We're going to start to hear more about what's really out there in the skies. You know what I'm saying? What's really out there in the universe or in the stars. Because it's just really interesting, honestly, to see like, these Army and Navy whistleblowers coming out. I mean, recently you had Jake Barber coming out, right? Like he said that he was a part of a UFO retrieval program, because they also have retrieval programs not only for like UFOs, they have it for different retrieval assets that they're trying to retrieve or anything like that. And so it's kind of interesting. It's interesting to see that these people who are in the Army, in the Navy, or who work for the government are, starting to come out on whistleblowers, and they're starting to come out, and they need a safe place to come out. They can't just say this stuff on the look. I mean, they can, but they need a safe place where people would understand what they're saying and know how to say it. Because I mean, you can't just say this alone, all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm not a whistleblower. I'm not a whistleblower. I'm just a guy reading an article, and I'm really interested on this topic, and I've always been. And I'm not trying to push the narrative of like, oh my god, like aliens are real and all that kind of stuff. Like for me, honestly, in my opinion, of course they're real. This is my unbiased, like my opinion. Like this isn't even talking about research or information. This is my opinion. I do believe that there's life out there in the universe. I mean, it's like the Fermi paradox. Like, if there wasn't no life, right, on the universe, we would be the only ones. That would be complete terrifying. Like, if we're the only ones, right? Because there's billions and billions of stars out there and all that kind of stuff. And it's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can potentially, these stars can be happening other different planets. And I made that video too, talking about like, these scientists, they've like found like dimethyl sulfide on these different planets with the James Webb telescope. And like, why are they spending like billions and billions of dollars with these telescopes? And why are they spending billions? Like, if you really think about it, like in the 1960s, right, or something like that, like we landed on the moon, right? But like in my mind, I was like, yo, in 2025, like we would have been had advanced technologies. Like, how come they did that all the way back then, and why are they not going to the moon again? Isn't that kind of interesting? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of interesting. How back then they were going more into space than how they are now. I mean, of course, they're sending rovers and stuff like that, and all that kind of stuff, like satellites, telescopes, James Webb telescope, and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, back then, I would have imagined by now we would have had like flying cars and all that kind of stuff. Like, is it possible that they are keeping all this secret? Is it possible like that this whole time since the 1950s, like they've been keeping this all secret, and like that's the reason why we haven't really been advancing, because they want to use it for power and authoritarianism, and they want to keep the whole planet in control. And he might just say that's a conspiracy theory. Who knows if it's a conspiracy theory? There's no way that they're actually hiding advanced technologies. And there's no way that, there's just no way, right? Because at this point, we would have had already advanced technology. There's no way. There's no way that they've actually crashed UFOs. And they actually reverse engineered that for like the past decades and all that kind of stuff. There's just no way, honestly. Who knows? I mean, shit. You never know. So, I mean, the truth is stranger than the fiction if you really think about it, because sometimes I don't even want to know, but over time, all this stuff is going to come out either way. So, I don't really care. I'm just really excited because I feel like we're entering in a time where like truth is really going to come out, regardless of what anyone says or thinks. No one can really do anything about it. It's just going to come out. So, it's really interesting and fascinating to see. I'm really excited for all this to come out. So, if you guys enjoyed today's video, leave a like. I would really appreciate you for leaving a like. It would boost it in the algorithm. So, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed today's video, I already know, leave a like, subscribe, and have an amazing day.